Growtopia is in huge trouble right now. The arguably largest scale duplication incident to date has occurred, with literal trillions of world locks of items being created. The IRL black market has crashed with seemingly no chance of recovery, and the ones behind it all are threatening Ubisoft to fix the game, else they finally bring Growtopia to its demise. Hi, it's me. It's been a bit. I got sick for 2 weeks straight a month ago and then had to lock in for midterms, so I haven't really been caught up, but Growtopia is in a goddamn crisis. I think I understand most of the information, but the incidents revolve around three things. The October ubiops hack that was seemingly solved without issue, the largest scale duplication that has recently been discovered, possibly spanning weeks to multiple months of time, and the Growtopia black market crashing coinciding these events during the past 4 months, almost as if they were a sign that something was wrong. So let's start from the first incident. On October 19th, an announcement in the Growtopia official Discord would state that the game servers would be temporarily inaccessible for people trying to log in. However, they would allow already logged in accounts to play as per usual. Now, this was pretty weird because they don't normally segregate gameplay ability like this. Usually, either everyone is able to get onto the server or no one is. Also, note their phrasing. Rather than stating it was due to a bug or a server-side error, this was much more vague and that they would provide an update once normal login access has been restored. And lo and behold, the next day, on October 20th, it would be announced that there was an unauthorized and illegal distribution of items. As it turns out, the ubiops Growtopia account was hacked by an unknown perpetrator. And basically, the issue with the ubiops account being hacked is that this is a developer account meant for testing, indicated by the orange-colored name tag, meaning that this account has the equivalent of Minecraft creative mode permissions. Yeah, there's a lot of footage and images of what happened, but they spawned tons of expensive and unobtainable items, griefed popular worlds, and also leaked the account password, which was just the color of the name tag in hexadecimal. Like, in the Growtopia password creation, you have to have at least 8 characters, a letter, a number, and a special character. Meanwhile, a developer account can fly with a 6-character long password that apparently takes the whopping sum of 11 minutes to crack via brute force. Further reading the October 20th announcement, they've removed the illegal items, restored the impacted worlds, and supposedly everything went back to normal, which, they wish. And that brings us to the most recent event, the big ass duplication. From late October to early November within the official Growtopia Discord, whispers regarding a dupe were being spread about with no real evidence until November 4th, in which it would be discovered that there was hundreds of thousands of duplicated items in a world called 676767, owned by a guy named grownoooo, and this information spread like a wildfire in the Growtopia Reddit, iHemo server, TikTok, Instagram, and in-game people went ballistic trying to see this for themselves. Alright, so there are a couple of videos about, the incident, and I'm pretty sure these are the only perspectives left because I think the world just got instantly vaporized when the mods found out, but we can say here that this screenshot does not look real. This is what you'd see on like a private server. Oh my god. This is like trillions of dollars of items right here. 28,000 Phoenix Wings, that is, And then we got this other video. Yeah, okay, so it's covering most of the same stuff, in higher quality. Is this a dupe? I feel like they just spawned in the items. I don't, because, one, there's I think there's illegal ass items in here. And also, it would be a pain in the ass to just drop it like this. Right here, it looks like they were dropping it normally, and now right here, it's like, what? That's the weirdest thing, in my opinion, and the fact that they, had to split it between antimatter fields and display boxes. That's because the first time is that you have to get the item itself to actually duplicate it, which means that you have to actually obtain the item in the first place, and that's quite the amount of world locks you have to get just normally. See any illegal items from this list? Of course, that's also me not knowing what even half of these items are. Okay, no, this is definitely not normal. Profile 18. This is definitely related to because Gauntlet of Elements. This is the clash item. I don't think you're supposed to get this. This is undroppable. This is the only clash item that I like really wanted, other than like the Galaxy skin. This is actually, it lets you swap walks. This is cool. Okay, yeah, this is not just a dupe. This is involved in the ubiops incident or something else. So obviously, this is a big issue, especially so that this would be accompanied by the uncovering of multiple other item stashes over the next few days, which begs the question of how many actually exist, as the 6-7 one, oh my god, was really just for show, and it was exposed by grownoooo himself, and there are many others that have appeared on a smaller scale, and possibly tens of hundreds that have yet to be discovered. For the dupe method itself, I have no clue. There isn't any verifiable information, but I'm thinking that it wasn't just a dupe and had some hacking elements or remnants of exploiting the ubiops account. And this just in, an interjection from growtopia Instagram. grownoooo, the same guy who owned the 6-7 world, has posted proof to being the one behind all the duplications, along with multiple stories and posts regarding his actions. So this is the man behind it all, grownoooo, the owner of 676767 duplication world, and yeah, this is something alright. It honestly doesn't even look like a dupe. This just looks like hacking, because there's no way a duplication, like, duplication is just, making more of the same item. There's no way he just manually dropped the same item over and over, like, to make it form like this. I feel like he has some developer powers, or this is related to the ubiops incident, as we've seen. Yeah, he does it with Phoenix Wings as well, and okay. He is leaking the world a little bit. Okay, that's, he is just toying with the game right now. And yeah, this is just the 6-7 world right here. This is where he leaked it, I guess. And right here is his threat to Growtopia, the game. He is directly calling out the moderators, the Ubisoft, the entire game. He'll wait 1 month to give them, time to solve all their issues. He's making some demands. He wants all the Growtopians that got banned without reason to, get unbanned and ban the bots and let the server be bigger. Yeah. And there are apparently 12 worlds full of duplicated items, and there's more than you saw in my first world. Yeah. And if they exceed the 1 month without any new updates, he'll let the world go public and let Growtopia get all the items in it. And he just wants a rollback to happen. I hope that, or I'm not hoping, I'm just assuming that him just saying that there's 12 worlds is a lie, because that's kind of, why would you reveal your biggest hand? Yeah, but he just wants, like, general changes that we've all really been, wanting. Unjust bans have been occurring, like, really heavily, as well as just auto farming has been annihilating the game for the past 5 years. If they don't address it, if they haven't addressed it, I don't think they're gonna, take action anyways. I don't think it matters. And this server be bigger, I think they just allocate some more storage whenever, they can, because sometimes the server cap is 95k and sometimes it's like 105. So I don't know what that's about, but that's not a big issue on their end, because if they, happen to ban all the bots, then we do not need half the size of the server. We probably only have 30k at most. Biggest, highball right there, 30,000 people, actual players. That's, now here's a series of posts just of people asking questions to him and him responding. Show dupe world, show dupe next world. Yeah, he is not going to reveal any worlds right now because, yeah, each world took me around 6 to 8 hours to be stacked. I don't think you should really be, telling them how long it took to put items in each world. I feel like you as one man, you have the power of information. Any information you reveal is not good for your case. If he's not being nonchalant about this. If this is true, then that's just kind of dumb on his part. And the fact that he said that he only had 12 worlds means that this literally took at the very least 3 days of work. What application are you using, Genta or Lucifer? I don't know what this is. This just seems to be like a hack client or something to allow them to duplicate. And yeah, basically it's a custom-made application. So it's not just a dupe, but it's probably something they gave them, mod perms. Finally, someone takes into their hand to help the game and make it better. Yeah, he actually has some big supporters. So yeah, it's based on your opinion of what this guy's doing is right or not. Honestly, I don't really care. I'm not the biggest, if Growtopia dies, like, later, I'll probably, like, cry at its funeral, but I won't have any longing feelings because I haven't actually played the game normally. Is it possible for mods to find the world and nuke them before the doomsday date? Sure, I am not a magician. Okay, so yeah, this is the biggest, issue for him. I guess success for the game, because this man really put all the cards on the table. He said it took 7 to 8 hours for him to set up the worlds. He said there were 12 worlds, and he said that they had a month to solve it all. So, Yeah, if they patched his method, then his threats are basically worthless. The last one is him getting a DM. Uh, okay, and apparently the normal Growtopia community is trying to find all the stashes. Yeah, but some of the world names he put are troll names, and some of them are just gibberish. So yeah, pretty smart on him. This is a much better password than the ubiops account. It looks like things are being handled mostly privately by the dev team. We're still mostly in the dark as to the real depth or circumstances around it all, but worst case scenario, people are saying that we're about to experience a downfall in a similar vein to Pixel World, with exploits being unpatched and the game being left to die. Obviously, this has affected gameplay somewhat because who wants to play a game in a state like this? It's like Cold War era relations. We're bracing for a major rollback as well as just something official from the team. And the funny thing is that they just announced that they killed the Tapjoy and replaced it with some boof my chips, so expect a video on that sometime soon. Anyways, moving on to the third event, the crash of the Growtopia black market. We're all relatively aware of a black market used to exchange world locks for real money, mostly being involved with botting or casino services, and right now, the value of a blue gem lock is around $4 to $5 and is quickly dropping. This video by Ventu has a much better explanation, but to summarize it, the price of BGLs has been dropping significantly within the past 3 to 6 months, as the stable price of a BGL was around $30, but during September it faced a significant 33% decrease to around $20, and then continued dropping to the price of $4 to $5, likely influenced by the information we have now. So the September price drop raises a huge flag because it's really abnormal to just have a significant price drop out of the blue, and there are only two reasonable explanations. Either a collectively huge dump into the market by multiple groups occurred, causing there to be competition between sellers, yada yada economics, high supply, low demand drops prices, or much less of a coincidence, insider knowledge about a method of getting BGLs easily was spread about, like an undiscovered duplication method that blows the ROI of botting and hosting casinos out of the water and would be used to sell as many BGLs as possible before it was patched. See, the issue with black market activity is that when a rollback or fix happens, the black market thrives because only the buyer gets screwed, because you already gave the seller the money, so what are you going to do? Get a refund? For buying some in-game pixels? Illegally? Thus, for a seller, regardless of individual BGL value, there is absolutely an incentive to try and get as many sales as possible when exploits are found. As previously mentioned, most of what we have right now are just speculations as we wait for the team to give concrete updates on the situations occurring, and like most drama and whatnot, I'm pretty sure at least until another development occurs, Growtopia gameplay will just be the same. However, with the black market being in shambles, do expect to see some incredible amounts of inflation when the sellers are no longer able to leverage the BGLs for significant amounts of money. Actually, I was going to make a Halloween update video on the ubiops hack and how items like golden heart crystals rose upwards of 500%, but that's sort of just an outcome of the black market shenanigans and the dupe that happened. As for my thoughts on this, it's very clear that you're either on the side of the quote-unquote vigilante group of grownoooo to try and create an impactful change, or you're on the side of the average Joe who wants to punish exploiting the game. And honestly, I don't really think either side is good because Ubisoft is, well, Ubisoft, they make some okay updates, but their lack of addressing community-wide complaints is running the game down, and grownoooo's decisions are interesting to say the least, because when the team eventually discovers and patches the exploit he's using to get his materials, in addition to taking a very costly 7 to 8 hours per world to stock up items, whenever he hypothetically pulls off his massive public release, they can just use that info, roll back to right before he does it, and then prevent it altogether. I mean, I understand the message and stuff he's trying to convey, but I feel like it's a lot more showy rather than impactful. Unless he has hundreds of worlds of material created at different times with multiple backup accounts, it's very much a long game of trying to trickle items into the economy without letting the moderators know, as they can just remove those items, nuke the stash, and then use small rollbacks if necessary. See, that man basically revealed his master plan. This man like started monologuing. He just gave like the bots all the information, so I'm assuming some of this is fake. He probably has some backup plans. He put a date on Growtopia's doomsday. He gave them a whole ass month to solve the issue. That is a pretty lenient time frame, so that might just be a lie, maybe he's just big brain. He's actually just leaking items as we speak right now. The biggest takeaway from this is that Growtopia's largest design issue is letting items stack, because all of this would be solved with unique item IDs. I'm taking an SQL class, and one of the concepts is that it's illegal to have items with the same primary or unique IDs, so any duplicates will just get immediately deleted. This is something pretty common in games, but unfortunately, it's pretty much unfeasible to implement this into Growtopia where items stack and with such huge quantities of items. But yeah, feel free to let me know your thoughts on this and if this is a turning point in Growtopia's history or just another incident blown out of proportion on the steady road to the game shutdown. Also, I was going to sell out by promoting my code BrightTheBot in the link in the description, but as someone with common sense, I understand that in the current situation, making Growtopia store purchases is really risky, so instead, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, okay, bye.